What's up, my fellow YouTubers? So I figured I'd do a review. This was on sale for $5 a while back, probably a month ago, and I was surprised how good it was. Because as a kid, I was born in '75. I remember it came out around then, and I remember being a kid and seeing the very end on TV and seeing the guy just freaking out and being like, "Wow, that's a freaky movie." And for some reason, I just never get around to seeing it. Maybe because it was a 1970s movie, and the world moved on to bigger and better things, you know what I mean? But since it was on sale and I had time, I said, well, I'll check it out. And for a 1970s film, or maybe I think because it's 1970s, it made it better than a lot of shit nowadays. Because the 1970s were different, right? We didn't have cell phones. People really talked to each other. Like nowadays, it's like, you're on your fucking phone. You're whatever. If you have a conversation with somebody, you're like, check out my YouTube, check out my Twitter, right? We've become the very fucking people that they're talking about, right? Like they're like in the movie, right? It's about a bunch of like lifelike kind of alienish things that grow in plants that make people different. And you see throughout the whole movie, somebody's like, wow, the person that I knew isn't the person I knew anymore. And I'm thinking, that's almost like prophetic because nowadays people have fucking changed, right? The people that you knew 20 years ago have changed because of social media, and social media is almost like the bugs that they're talking about. And I'm just as fucking guilty, but it's just like we're attached to our phones. We've become almost like alienish. The only difference is this movie is more like on the edge of horror, where like they're sapped into plants. And the plants remakes them as another clone, and so it really goes off on the science fiction type of thing. But it's creepy enough because the 1970s had a creepy feel to it that you can't capture nowadays, right? Um, where like even as a kid, I remember watching Sesame Street and that feeling, right? Picture that feeling only a horror movie, right? Because the 1970s, it's hard to unless you grew up, it's hard to capture it unless you watch a movie. And this movie definitely captures it. And there's other movies too that capture that as well. Like Death Wish was one of them. I was like, oh my god, I remember that feel, that 1970s feel, the wallpaper, everything else. It's like wow. So if you're looking for a good horror movie that captures that 1970s feel, that's a little bit outdated, but actually in other ways better than a lot of movies nowadays, definitely check this out. And I will have more reviews in the future. Peace out, my fellow YouTubers.